All right, let's get rolling. Shout out to the fan base and the students for making Dowdy Fickle and once again a home field advantage. Thank you to the Minjus for the drone show and the fireworks show their administration keeps putting on, and just a really good experience inside Dowdy Fickle Stadium, and always a really good experience when you win the football game. So, a couple things I want to hit on first before we hit on the football game is just we also lost a really good man and a really good coach this week in Sean Clark, and one of our coaches, Lance Wares, played college ball with him, really tight with him, one of his best friends, and just been checking on Lance a couple times a day, and really feel for Coach Clark's family and close friends there, and we're keeping his family and those close to him in our thoughts and prayers and condolences to that family. And it's told our players, like, make sure you tell the people around you love them every day, because you never know when something, you turn around and you lose somebody like that. And also want to hit on just salute the service tonight, Military Appreciation Night. Thank you to all the men and women out there who serve our country, who protect us, and just a huge thank you to them. It's pretty special. Army came down at the end after the game there and sung the alma mater with us, and then we went down and sung the alma mater with them. And you're out there battling it out in competition, but at the same time, those men on the other sidelines over there, a huge amount of respect for them, because one day they're going to protect our country as well. So I just wanted to hit those things first. And football game wise, get off to a really good start. Proud of how we started offensively, especially 21-0, got to that lead, and just getting back after it, especially after last week on a short week. Just went to battling at it. And then defensively, couldn't be more happy and proud of those guys. Shut them out in the first half, only held them to 6 points in the second half. And, usually I'm kind of the biggest critic of the defense, but this week I'm pretty proud of them. And, I think going just to the history of option teams and being able to hold those guys to one score is pretty dang special. Not many times throughout my coaching career have I seen that happen. And a bunch of individual performances in there. And somebody told me we just had 2 penalties as well. So I just, shout out to our football team of being more disciplined, being more locked in, and challenging each other. Yannick Smith, after pregame warm-ups, went around and started challenging guys, just about bringing the energy and making sure we up for it and we're ready to ride. And we talked about this being a new season, and no better way to start the conference play than a victory against Army and start out 1-0. Obviously, got some tough ones coming up down the road, but we do get some time off now to heal some bumps and bruises and get rolling from there. So this time we'll open up for questions.
Coach, with the time of possession they've had and the number of plays they've run, could you just talk about the importance of kind of setting the tone and getting ahead?
Yeah, a couple of things there. I think, I was with the triple option for years, and anytime you get behind, especially 3 scores, you kind of panic a little bit. And we told our defensive players, like, if you can force 3 and outs, that's as good as a turnover. If you can get a 4th down stop, that's as good as a turnover. I think there's some crazy stat there, 1-15, Army is, Coach Munkin is, when they lose the turnover battle. But when they win the turnover battle, they're like 56-3 or something. So something crazy like that. But we talked to our guys about, hey, those 3rd down stops, those 3 and outs, those 4th down stops, and then getting the lead on them as well. I think that's huge, especially against an option team. It's huge any week, but that was certainly big tonight.
I know you've got great respect for their staff, Coach Worley. Just talk about the game plan, and on a short week, I don't know, does that help you not overthink things?
Yeah, know a ton of their staff and Cody and the offense coordinator, Danny Verpel, good friend of mine, safeties coach, Nate Woody. There's probably 7 guys in that staff that we've been good friends for a long time or coached against and saw each other quite a bit. So I have a ton of respect for them and the type of program Coach Munkin has ran there and done the job he's done there for the years. But you're on a short week. You obviously focus on your opponent. You got to get ready for, especially an option team is different, but you really got to keep it simple for your guys to go play fast, go play physical, and the way the game's played. So that's what we try to do, and our guys did a great job of doing that. Our defensive staff, shout out to those guys, Coach Aldridge, Coach Tesh, Magazoo, all those guys, Coach Zachary, Coach Williams out wide, and Coach Butterworth did a heck of a job. And I think they tried every single minute of the day to cram. We talked about all week cramming for a test, and they certainly did a great job of that and passing the test tonight.
You talked about how proud you were of the defense. Does that confidence in them kind of make you think, all right, we can go for it here, we can fake a field goal?
Yeah, I think against non-P4 teams, they've allowed 1 touchdown now, in 3 ball games. That's pretty dang good. The field goal thing, a few things on that. there in the second half, there's a few fourth downs in there. I think about the 40-yard line, we go for it on fourth down. You go through the analytics. Analytics says go for it, so we go for it there. And the analytics wasn't saying, really, if you punt in the end zone, you're only gaining like 20 yards on the punt. And then we get down there about the 15-yard line, go for it again, and get held short, I think, on 4th and 1, 4th and 2. I told the guys on the staff, I said, screw that book. Next time it comes up, I'm freaking kicking a field goal here. And it was like the 32, 33-yard line. It was going to be about a 50-yard kick, which Nick can hit. But you're more worried about what if it gets blocked. You're giving an easy score up to the opponent, the Army there, and they cut it to 1 score. And, we snuck Kyler Pearson in there. Bryce Weavers has been battling some things with his foot. He didn't play the second half because it bothered him a little bit. And it's a little tiny hairline fracture in there, and he goes in for that play, kicks the guy out, opens it up. Kyler hits it in there tight, and then takes that thing to the house, and that's a pretty sight to see for sure. And that when you go up 3 scores, especially in the fourth quarter like that, they put the game away. And just kudos Coach Smith and special teams coordinator and Bryce and Kyler, all those guys executing right there.
How was it for Kyler to experience something like that, knowing that last week, he goes through the low,
Yeah.
What was it like to see him?
We talked all week about, one night doesn't define us, but how we respond to adversity does define us. And Harrell Varner sent me a text, just last night talking about adversity. Mike Atkins talked to our team yesterday about adversity and getting your roots in the ground and how the wind creates adversity, all those things. And, to see those guys respond, Kyler, had a tough night last week, as you said, and respond tonight. And every single one of our players did, not just Kyler, but just really proud of them as a football team.
Coach, the running game was effective in Marlin, especially in the second half.
Yeah.
Really gave you a lift when he came in the game.
I think that's the fact we got to keep driving. The thing we got to keep driving home with our football team is like, hey, I may not be out there, but I got to keep positive energy for my football team. And when my time comes, just like Marlon was out there, and he kept moving the chains, kept getting the first down, and kept running hard. And just, what Marlon Gunn is to this football team, it may not show up in the stat book, but just the type of person he is, the way he goes to work every day, I just can't say enough about him. He's one of my favorites around, and he needs to keep plugging away. And at some point, just like he did tonight, he's going to keep winning us ball games, and just proud of him.
Coach, before the fourth and goal score for Army, Jamar Lewis had a pretty amazing hustle play. He walks the guy down.
That's a heck of a job. Yeah. Yeah, 15. I believe his name is Noah Clark. Is that right? Or Noah Short. Sorry. Noah Short is like a 10'7", 10'6", 100-meter guy in high school and can run. Like you see every week, he takes off and leaves everybody. And when he broke, I was like, oh, we're not catching him. But Jamarly did. And just really proud of him and just what an effort. And, for nothing else, it chews up a couple more minutes down there, and we almost get the fourth down stop. And that's where Army is their best, inside the 5-yard line of short yardage. But just Jamarly to get down there and make a play on it to give us an opportunity to line it up again is pretty special. And that's something you can teach off, not only this year but for years to come, the effort he played with right there.
Coach, I saw, I'm doing my math really quick, for 5 games, 67 points, which averages out to be, for the defense, 13.4 yards. 13.4 points a game.
Yeah.
I know you probably, as a defensive coach, would say you would like to have 0 points a game.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know you're saying proud about the defense, but so far through 5 games, they've looked really well.
Well, I think if we can do that the next 5 games, we might be okay. If we can go through the next 5 games and only give up, 13 points a game, that give us a chance to win some ball games down the stretch here. And, a couple weeks, we got to enjoy this one tonight and get back to being healthy and take some time off. But in 2 weeks, we play a really good Tulane football team who obviously played for the conference championship as well last year. I think they're favored to win it this year and is playing pretty good right now. So we got our work cut out down the road. October is going to be a little bit different October than we've all experienced before. We got 2 Thursday night games, no Saturday games, and only 2 games in October. So it's a good opportunity for us to, get back to healthy, get back to fresh, but at the same time go win some football games against 2 good football teams in Tulane and Tulsa who actually play this Saturday.
What did you see from the offense that changed from that first quarter? Seemed like they're moving the ball.
Yeah.
What did you see happen after that?
I thought like right there at the end of the second quarter, just didn't take care of the football. I mean, they didn't, and we stopped ourselves. They didn't make us, hey, stop us at the 50 and make us punt. We get down there in the red zone, can't convert, and we got to do a better job. And I think, on the one, on the one throw there. Then on the speed option, they zeroed out. Katin checks in the speed option you want. So if they got speed option, they come and cover zero, and you got speed option called, it's 2-on-1, and he let the guy just get a hand out and flip it, and got a piece of it and turn the ball over there. It's the same call we had in the bowl game when he fakes it out there, gets the ball out. He done that a million times in the past. Just got to do a better job taking care of the football there and make them pay when they want to zero out, and that's the biggie. If you can make people pay when they come bring pressure and zero out like that, then they'll calm down. But if you can't handle it, you can keep seeing it.
Holding the option team to 6 points, 1 touchdown, just how do you kind of describe that?
I mean, it's awesome for us. We just wanted to go in here and play detailed football, and I think that we did that consistently. And Coach Aldridge, he talks about consistency all the time. The toughest men are consistent. And I think that we just came out here regardless of what happened. We went for a lot on 4th down, and I'm glad that we're doing that because our offense is super explosive, and defense is being able to just buckle up and get to the next play. Just the guys being able to lock in, and just focus on their job it's elite.
Teagan, after the targeting call last week, how amped up were you for to play this game? I'm sure you wanted to be in that game, but you're a big-time competitor last week. How big was it for you to be?
It was huge. Yeah, it was huge. It's not even just on the field, too. It was right after, when we practiced the next day. I'm in there all fresh because I didn't, get to play, but everybody else is super sore, and I'm like, why is everybody, moping around? Let's go. So I was amped up. I was ready to go from the start, but, yeah, don't get me started on that call.
Is it a good thing at all y'all had a short week with the option to maybe not overthink things and just dive into it?
I don't think so. Obviously you want to prepare for the option as much as you can. You prepare for any team as much as you can. But I think that us having a short week and just being able just to focus on our eye discipline and just make that the focus statement was probably the best thing for us. It's just focusing on one thing at a time instead of the big picture and analyzing all type of splits and stuff like that.
How's the depth of this defense so far for you? You're playing a lot of snaps, but a lot of guys are just coming in and out. How's the depth of this team?
Yeah, no, the depth is really good. It's probably as deep as I've seen it since I've been here. I'm not going to speak too much on every other position, but I know safety wise, I don't have any issue with coming out of the game. I have full trust in everybody behind me. I have full trust in everybody behind Jamarly. And honestly, that's how it is throughout the whole team, not just defensively, but offensively too. Regardless of what receivers out there, they're explosive and they're going to score points.
Speaking of running, Jamarly, just how fun was it watching him run Noah Short down and make that big tackle?
Yeah, no, he does a lot of, elite things as a young guy, and I say this all the time in pretty much every interview that I talk about him. But I've never seen a young guy do the things that he does, and honestly lead the way that he does. He's able to bring guys along with him without even saying anything. To be honest, just through his play. But yeah, elite play by him. Elite game by him too.
How about 2 pretty physical games? To go into the bye week off a win and get some time to recharge. How much you guys think you can kind of build off this?
Oh, I love it for sure. I'm super excited. Just get home, lay down, have a couple of off days. But it's huge for the team too. Not only like you were just saying about overthinking, the option, but let's not overthink the season either. Let's get some time to sit back and see what we were doing good, what we were doing bad. Fix the stuff that we got to fix, and then get ready for Tulane.
Some of the fans were asking about, so I wanted to ask you directly about. You can read the defenses really well. When you're on the field, is being there in the back part of the defense, it's good to have you back there, right, for your experience and you help other guys out?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely want to get into coaching once I'm done playing football too, so I think that has a big part of to do with it. I find it interesting to, find all the little details involved in offenses and stuff like that. But I can only do so much, from the back end. Everybody else around me has to know their job, and they do. I don't really even have to say anything because everybody's so locked in.
To see Kyler do what he did today, I asked Coach about this, but after the week he had last week and the play, the punt return, to see him do that, what was that like?
Yeah, just to step up and make a big play for the team when honestly nobody knew about it. It caught me by surprise as much as it caught y'all by surprise, but I'm so grateful, that we got him and he's doing the things that he does. He's going to keep making plays for us, and I'm excited to see that.
How How big was that?
Yeah, that was just like what we were talking about the whole week. We want to get that first down, get the offense rolling, and went down the field and scored that first drive, and then led to 2 more in the first quarter. Started off fast, and we did that, and defense played really well again today too. Just got to finish the game better is the only thing I got to say about that.
Just how ready were you to get out there and play and put Saturday back behind you?
Man, I mean, that was a tough loss last week, and then I was just thrilled we had a short week and able to go out and play a really good team in Army and have an opportunity to go out and play like the same environment, 7:30 night game, and just in Dowdy-Ficklin. I mean, you don't only get so many opportunities to do that, so just having the opportunity to go out and do that again and just kind of have a bounce-back game was big for sure.
What's the importance of starting 1-0 in this conference? Looks like it's going to be tough this year, but what's the importance of starting 1-0?
Yeah, I mean, it just builds momentum. We go into a bye week too, so building momentum in that bye week and playing a really good team in Tulane. It's gonna be good. We're gonna go out and just keep getting better every single week.
Katin, how big is it for you to have, I know you want 5 wins in September, but you have 3 wins halfway to going to a bowl. I know that's much, there's every goal that you have is still in front of you.
Yep. We have a lot of goals we set, and we're not looking too far ahead at those, really just kind of taking it day by day, game by game. It's a long season, so that's how we were approaching it.
Katin, only 2 penalties tonight. Everything was very disciplined after what happened, last game.
Yeah, 100%. We cleaned that up for sure. That was a point of emphasis this week too. And then playing a good Army team that's disciplined as well. They're not going to give a lot of penalties, so we got to win that battle for sure.
How big is it to have the off week, the bye week before you have a road game, a really big road game against Tulane?
It's huge, especially coming off a short week. We just have more time to prepare, get our bodies right, get healthy, and go and play a really good team.
Okay, just how easy is it just like function back there and your defense has given up 9 points in y'all's non-P4 games?
Yeah, I mean, they've been just lights out the past couple games, seriously, and just gives me confidence knowing out that we don't have to go score every drive even though we want to. They can go out and stop their offense, and this gives a great confidence to go out and play complementary football.
Hitting the big ones to Anthony coming out of that field.
Yeah, it was a long time coming. I'm just relieved we actually got one. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot more this season for sure.
Just your thoughts on the second half, because y'all moved the ball and then obviously kind of stalled out. What do you think kind of changed there?
Yeah, just got to keep the tempo going. We realized that once we keep the tempo going in the red zone, they can't stop us. And those drives towards the end, we kind of got stopped and slowed the clock down. And just got to execute. That's the biggest thing, to execute in the red zone, going punching the ball. And that's on me too, not turning the ball over and just making dumb decisions in the red zone.
Katin, can you talk about the fake field goal? I think everybody was surprised. Were you guys surprised?
Man, I mean, I really didn't know what was going to happen. It was 4th and 1. And then they kept us on the sideline, just switching personnel, not really sure what was going to happen. And Kyler went out there, and he was holding, and I was looking at him, and I was like, I don't think he's the holder on this play. And I was asking, Mike Wright was right next to me, and because he's on special teams and stuff too. So I asked him, I was like, is this a fake? And he looked at me, he was like, yeah. I was like, here we go. And once he broke that tackle and I saw his little ass run, I was like, here we go.
Just connect on the deep ones, man.
Yes, sir.
Kind of a long time coming.
Yeah, first one of the season. Very excited. Me and Katin just keep pressing in practice. We're always talking to each other. I know it kind of sucks. Like, ain't been in the end zone first 4 games, but we got to keep pressing. It's gonna come, and it did tonight. So felt good.
Hey, how good does it feel to kind of get back after you were almost in there on the very first drive?
It felt good. I can't lie to you. I wasn't expecting it to be that, like it was going to happen that soon. So to be able to get back in the box and stuff like that after having that big catch, my first catch. So, yeah, it was nice.
You and Katin, last week was tough for, I think, both of you guys. How important was it for y'all to bounce back?
Yeah, man, I feel like the loss was not only tough on me and Katin, but just like everybody on the team. Everybody took a toll because like everybody wanted that game so bad. It was such a big game for everybody. So we just kind of put a serious emphasis on this week is like just turn the page. Turn the page. We watched the film. We made the corrections. Turn the page. And we got the results we wanted tonight because we turned the page and fought through adversity. So that's what really was the main focus this week was that.
How big was it to jump out to a 21-0 lead, knowing about the service academies and
Yes.
style football?
Yes, that was the main thing because we seen the North Texas game. I think they also got up 21-0 in the first quarter, and Army came back, held the ball, and made it a game. So we were trying to avoid that, just making sure we continue to press and don't get complacent. When we got up 21, we continued to try to press on and press on. So that was like the big goal for the night.
You guys moved the ball. Just I feel like y'all kind of stop yourselves in the second half.
Yeah, I think so too. But nothing that we could really do about it. Kind of just go out there and just run the plays that are called, execute as best as we can.
Did you know the fake was coming with.
I can't lie to you. I was on the bench sitting down, and then I just hear everybody screaming. I look up at the screen, and KP's little stuff was just running. I'm like, oh. So it was crazy, though. That's my guy, so it was good to see him get an opportunity to get in the end zone and stuff like that. So.
As far as you have the bye week,
Mhm.
you're on the road against Tulane.
Yes, sir.
Talk about that.
Shoot, well, Tulane's a big game. Can't overlook no opponent. Yeah, we do got a bye week, but we're still gonna continue to grind. We're gonna get a little bit of time off, as well deserved. But yeah, we're still gonna be in the building working. Maybe not physically, but mentally for sure. Just to prepare for Tulane. So yeah, they're just as big of a game as BYU, as NC State, as this game. So we got to continue just to press on. So.
And just how big is this win with your guys' goals of winning the conference?
This win is huge, man. Starting off 1-0 in the conference is super, super important, giving us that momentum heading into the bye week especially. So I think this win was super, super big for not only the players, but the coaches, the staff, just everybody as a program, just letting everybody know that we're here. So.